Alright, I've recently put up a few videos of this car doing a few passes. Usually lives on the trailer, but I've got it down on the ground for a change, so I thought I might do a quick walk around so the people that have seen the vids have an explanation of what the car actually is. It's a 1996 VS SS Holden Commodore. It's got the factory V8 block, the factory Turbo 700 or 4L60. That's all been beefed up a bit inside from Nord Automatics. We've got the factory Eaton IRS running 411s and True Track on 26x9s. The car itself is basically what doesn't need to be there has been stripped out, just for weight. Now we've got the conventional boot setup, all the weight to the left. I've got a little surprise for next season. They've changed our cut-offs in Super Street. I run Super Street B. Our cut-offs used to be 11.0s. Don't worry about that 742. My last meet was at a 1/8 track, Still City Drag Club up at Whyalla. We run under Andra sanctioning in the Summit series. As I said, the car itself, it's nothing special. I've just taken out a bit of excess weight here and there. I've got my two lovely grandmothers that not only ride along with me in my heart in every pass, but in my vision. God rest their soul. Everything obviously has been rewired. There's a couple of stages over there that I've got to play around with. I've kept the dash in because I just like that look of the dash. As I said, the engine in this is factory Holden. It's a Holden V8 block, which is a 90-degree internal pushrod engine, 16 valves. It became a staple of the Holden assembly line. It was introduced in 1969 to compete against Ford Australia and Chrysler Australia's V8s that they had in their production lines. Originally they were available in a 253 cubic inch or 308 cubic inch. They kept manufacturing these up until the late 90s, when Holden replaced this with the LS. Some of the later production versions of this engine that came out of the factory went up to 345 and 350 cubic inch. This engine itself started off as a 304 cubic inch fuel injected motor. We've taken the torque power manifold. We do a lot of stuff for Holdens aftermarket wise. We haven't touched the engine since it was built 10-15 years ago. It was built by this gentleman here, Peter Schaefer of Performance Techniques, Holden Hill, South Australia. He's forgotten more about building engines than I'll ever know. But yeah, he built this 10 years ago, set the timing, and nothing on the thing's changed since, except I do believe we changed one manifold gasket. and that's about it there. No racer can do it by themselves, so I've got to thank Marine Tyres up at Largs North. If you need tyres, give them a call, tell them Harry sent you, and they'll go, who? This gentleman here as well, Mr. Jeff Pratt, a funny car racer in his own right, has helped us out with a lot of our transporters. And when I say transporters, I mean flatbed trailers. He helps keep them all greased and lubed and all above standard. This here is our other race car. In Australia, race cars are denoted by an alpha identification, such as this one here is a VS Commodore. In the US, it probably would have been known as a 96, but unlike the US, we kind of keep the same model car for a couple of years without too many changes, where in the US they change things every year. Say it's a front grille and move the indicator lights over to here or over to there, or put in dual headlights, or there's always a little different. This one here is what's commonly known as a FX Holden. It's the only Holden that was manufactured which actually has numerical identification of 48215. 48 being the year. This is a full chassis car. If someone from the States is looking at this, they might recognise that it's based on the 1943 Chevrolet. This one here runs a 400 small block Chev. Well, actually 427. Got a bit of a stroker crank. Big carby. We run mufflers on this thing to fit inside of our bracket. It will still run 10 O's in it. It's a very light car. It's all fiberglass front, original glass, and original steel. Steel quarters, steel roof, steel doors.